Honestly, this list probably could have been about 50 fucking movies I've seen this year. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. So with every, best of list comes a worst of list. So this is my worst of list for 2018. Now, there were a lot of fucking bad movies that I watched in 2018, but these were probably some of the worst ones. There were some low budgeted movies that I saw that were pretty cringeworthy, but I'm going to leave most of those alone just because they're lower budgeted movies, and obviously they don't have access to the big stars and stuff like that. So, but goddamn, I could make a 2-hour video on just the shit that I've had to fucking endure this year. But yeah, anyways, these are the worst and probably the biggest disappointments to me. So for 2018 as far as movies, but I guess we're just going to start and go in order here. They're in no particular order, so there is no first and worst. It's just, they're all the fucking same as being shitty. But the first off was The Nun. My God, that movie was fucking terrible. It's too bad, too, because James Wan has such a good name as, well, a director, he killed it, but producing as well. And this is from the Conjuring universe, and I think we all had super high hopes for this movie. When we first got introduced to the Nun, I think it was in the last Conjuring movie. Was it the last one? I can't remember, but it was when we got introduced to her in the den there when she comes out of the wall and all that shit. But my God, this movie was fucking terrible. It was just all jump scares. Like it didn't even fit into the Conjuring universe. It was so bad. So, and the unfortunate thing is it killed it at the fucking box office. So, I mean, there's a real bad chance that we might actually get another one of these movies. So I don't know. I hope they do a better job if they do. Well, that's pretty much what this movie was. But hopefully they do a better job if they do end up making another Nun movie, like a sequel or a prequel. Like, really, this is like a prequel to the Conjuring introduction. But at the beginning of this movie, the Nun, they didn't really give much of a background other than she was in that fucking well or wherever she was and she got brought back to life. So I'm sure they'll make a prequel to this prequel, explaining, hopefully they explain, how she came to be and all that shit a little bit better. But anyways, The Nun, it's a pile of shit. Don't watch it. Another movie that fucking disappointed the hell out of me, and this movie actually disappointed me more than The Nun, was The Predator. I was so stoked for this fucking movie. Shane Black was on board. It has a list of pretty good actors, and like, what the fuck? They turned it into a comedy. I don't know if they were trying to go with the off-kilter humor that the original Predator had, but I mean, these guys didn't pull it off at all. I was very disappointed in this movie. I don't know, man. Boyd Holbrook, I don't care for him as an actor. He tries to play these tough guys, and I just don't think he pulls it off. I've seen him in a few other movies, too, where he's got kind of the same character, and it just doesn't work for him. But Shane Black, man, oh man, he dropped the ball on this movie. There's quite a few people that like this movie, but I don't know, when you try and compare them to the first two, like, it just doesn't stack up. I don't know, man. I was disappointed. I was expecting a whole lot more, and I thought they were gonna actually there's three endings to this movie, and I think they went with the worst one, with that stupid fucking suit. The second ending was gonna have a Dutch reference in it, or actually half a minute, and then the third one I just read about the other day was there was gonna be a tie-in to Aliens. So, but they didn't go with that one either. So, I mean, something better than what the ending was with that goddamn suit. But this movie overall was fucking terrible, and I hated it. Another movie that I didn't care for, but I knew this was going to be a piece of shit even before it came out, was Day of the Dead. And man, oh man, like it went through, I think, 3 directors, and then finally Hector Hernandez Vickens decided to stick around and finish this pile of shit through to the end. I mean, you've got Jonathan Shrek, or Sherrick, however you say his name, as the zombie in this. He's kind of like the Bub character. What the fuck? Like, his name's Max. They call him Max in this movie, and it's just, it's fucking horrible. Like he does his best as a zombie, but I mean, this guy's jumping through fucking air vents and superpowers, and it's just fucking retarded. It's I was shaking my head through the whole fucking thing. It's too bad, really. They just need to stop, because every time they've tried to make a Day of the Dead remake, it's just fucking garbage. So you can watch this on Netflix, but I don't know. Just, I would do yourself a favor and don't fucking watch it. It's fucking stupid. Okay, so another movie here. This came out in January, and this was right around the time when I signed up for Netflix. And one of the first movies I watched was this pile of shit called The Open House. What the fuck was this movie even about? Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's a mom and her son that move into this place. And I don't know. You know what? I'm not even going to say anything about it. For those of you that have had to endure this pile of shit, like, is it just me, or was there no ending to this movie? Like, it was the stupidest. And I honestly, I have not read one good review about this movie. In fact, the few reviews that I have watched on this flick earlier in the year, people were actually getting angry about how bad this movie was. So this movie here, The Open House, has to be one of the worst movies of 2018. It is fucking terrible. It's on Netflix, but again, just don't watch it. It's fucking terrible. Another movie I was disappointed in was Delirium. I thought this movie was going to be fucking great because it has Topher Grace in it, but I don't know, man. I mean, you've got Topher Grace, Genesis Rodriguez, Patricia Clarkson. You got some good actors in here and actresses, and I don't know, man. This movie was fucking terrible. I found myself, like, the ending was predictable. I think Carlo and I called the ending about halfway through this movie. And yeah, man, like, it was just, I don't know, Topher, you need to to pick it up, buddy, because this movie is not doing anything for you. So, and I think this one's still on Netflix. Most of these movies are on Netflix now, so you can watch them for free, I guess, because Netflix is so cheap. So, but, and just, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to. For all these people bitching online because Netflix upped their fucking, their monthly subscription, like, shut the fuck up. Really? So is there really a big difference if you're paying $1.50 or $2 more for Netflix than you were a year ago? Like, look at all the movies you have access to. Like, I swear to God, man, people just complain about anything just for the sake of complaining. So, but anyways, most of these movies are on Netflix, so you can watch them on there. So it's really not going to cost you anything. But Delirium, past that one because it's fucking terrible. Another movie that I was so stoked to see because they made the trailer so fucking good. They had AC/DC playing, and it looked fucking crazy. This is I'll tell you, man, like, this is a prime example of how they can take a fucking subpar movie and edit it perfectly for the trailer and make it look kick-ass. Because this movie, I can't believe how many people thought this movie was good. I didn't hate this movie, but I was really disappointed because, I mean, I was excited for this movie, and in this movie, like, the first act was awesome. That airplane scene when they're getting shot, like, it was fucking incredible. And then as soon as they hit the ground and started walking around, it was just slowly went downhill and down. And this is supposed to be a zombie movie. There's no fucking zombies in it. Like, literally, there's like 3 zombies in the whole thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's like a super soldier movie, not a zombie movie. Maybe I misread the fucking the trailer. I'm not sure, but I thought this was going to be hordes of fucking zombies, like Dead Snow and Outpost and stuff, and it had like fucking 3 zombies in it. So, I mean, there were some good scenes in this movie, but I mean, the CGI was fucking terrible. The acting was meh. It was okay, but I mean, after that opening plane scene, I mean, Overlord was fucking overhyped. So, The Ninth Passenger, man, this movie is fucking I don't even know this movie. I don't even know how I watched this movie. I think someone sent it to me and asked me if I'd seen it, and I was like, I never even fucking heard of it before. But it's from the creators or the producers of It Follows, and I fucking love that movie. So I was like, okay, I've never heard of this before, but I'm going to give it a watch. And this movie was a test of endurance, actually, because it was fucking terrible. This looked like a Sci-Fi Channel movie at its finest. It was fucking absolutely horrible, and it's supposed to be a creature feature and a comedy and a horror movie, and it's none of those. Well, it has creatures in it, but they're so fucking stupid looking. It's just, and the acting is like, I shouldn't knock people on their acting because I've never acted in a movie before, but I could act fucking better than people in this movie. It was atrocious. And the ending, oh my God. Like you watch this thing for 90 minutes and you expect some sort of a payoff at the end. And it was fucking stupid. Just don't watch it. Okay, another movie that I kind of was looking forward to and was disappointed was Await Further Instructions. This movie annoyed me more than anything else. I did a review on it too, and it was so funny because I gave it a bad review, and I actually had the producers from the film actually comment on my Twitter saying that I was wrong and maybe I didn't understand the movie, or I'm like, dude, I understand what this fucking movie's trying to say, and I don't mean to break the news to you, but it fucking missed the mark big time. And yeah, it's a shame really, because the premise is cool, but just the way it's put forward, it's just annoying, stupid, mundane, and it's just nothing new. It's garbage. So I don't know. I've had a few people say that they like this movie, but overall, I mean, it's only got like a 4 on IMDb, so you can't always go by their ratings, but I don't know. This movie had a lot of I was excited to see it, and I was really let down by the end of it. So, okay, what do we got here? So, Malevolent is on Netflix. It's about a brother and sister team of fake paranormal people, and they encounter a castle where there's actually really ghosts in there, and then there's supposed to be like the big surprise ending at the end. It's just, I'll tell you, man, I spent more time on my phone playing video games than I did watching this movie. It was fucking boring as fuck, and I mean, everything was predictable. There's nothing new about this film at all. So if you do happen to come across Malevolent on Netflix, I would just pass it. It's not very good, and the acting is not very good either. It's boring as fuck. Don't watch it. And then, okay, this is my biggest disappointment of 2018. Out of all the movies I've seen, I mean, The Nun was terrible. The Predator was a joke. But all the movies that I've seen this year, this movie was my biggest disappointment, and it's The Farm. What in the fuck were these guys thinking when they made this movie? This was a lower budgeted movie. I mean, it wasn't made on fucking scraps. It did have, a bit of a budget, but man, I don't know. I should leave a link in the description for my review on this movie, because I made it immediately after watching this movie because I was so pissed off. I had high hopes for this. And again, this is another movie where they edit it pretty good. So the trailer looks a lot better than the movie does. Well, you guys fucking fooled me, because this movie was an endurance, and it's almost 2 hours long. It's an hour and 50 minutes, and it's fucking terrible. I haven't spoken to one person or had one person comment on my review saying that I was wrong. I mean, this movie is fucking terrible. So anyways, The Farm by far is my worst movie of 2018. If you get a chance to watch it, don't, and just bypass it. There's so many other good movies out there to watch. Don't subject yourself to this fucking movie. It's fucking terrible. There's literally a 5-minute scene in this movie where it just shows a guy from the back walking from one building to the other. It's fucking terrible. Anyways, okay, I've ranted enough. There's my 2018 worst movies. Let me know what you guys, I'm sure you guys have a list a mile long too, because there was a lot of crappy movies put out this year as far as the horror and sci-fi realm go. And I've only touched on a few of them, but these are the ones that kind of disappointed and pissed me off the most. I mean, yes, there was some lower budgeted movies that were pretty bad too, but we're going to leave those ones alone just because it's low budget, and a lot of them are up and coming directors, trying to get their feet wet and stuff. So I'll leave those guys alone, but man, oh man, I couldn't, some of these movies are terrible. So anyways, that's it. 2018 is done and over with, and on to bigger and better things in 2019. Hopefully we get a lot better movies. And about this channel, man, I can't thank you guys enough for, first of all, sticking around. I know I get long-winded sometimes. And but to the guys that sub, I really honestly I do appreciate every single one of you. This channel has grown so much over the course of this year, and I can't say enough good things about you guys. Speaking to you online, and for some of you that join me in the watch parties when I do those, and then just your awesome comments on this channel here on YouTube, it's just fucking fantastic. So love every one of you. I hope you guys have a great 2019, and yeah, guys, until next time, stay scared.